Hey, Eric,
What?
do you like stories?
Sure.
Oh, you do? So let me tell you a story since you like them so much.
Okay.
There once was a kid named Lil Joey. Other kids realized he had an obsession, that he was trying to find secret things. So they picked on him for it. They gave swirlies, wet willies, all the illies. One day, he was stuffed into the locker by these bullies. A teacher found him screaming, and then the teacher asked him for the combination of the locker to get him out. He said he didn't know the combination because it wasn't his locker. So the teacher, but Lil Joey realized something, that since he didn't know how to get out, the bullies can't hurt him. He was safe inside that locker. He realized knowledge is dangerous. But since he's the only one who knows how to deal with knowledge, danger doesn't affect him anymore. Many years later, his daughter was growing up. He decided to tell her to stay out of police academy where she can learn to be a police officer. You know, he thought that knowledge is dangerous. So to keep her safe, he wanted to keep her out. He didn't tell her about her mentor being killed to keep her safe. Tell her about her best friend having superpowers just to keep her safe. All knowledge must be kept a secret so that everyone stays safe. And that is why he's known as Safety Joe. I mean, Secret Man. I mean, Detective Joe West.
Wow. Wow. You're really on this secret thing.
Welcome to the Out of Capes podcast for Flash, Season 1, episode titled Grodd Lives. This is a weekly podcast focusing on CW's The Flash series. I'm your co-host, Stafa.
And I'm Eric.
So the way how this show is structured is we're going to talk about last night's episode. We're going to have a discussion on it, several discussions on it. After that, we're going to review and rate it. And the show for anyone who does not want to listen to potential spoilers or theories, any of that. But for anyone who wants to stick around for all those discussions, we're going to start that after the closing of the podcast. So let's get going. Okay. Grodd Lives.
Yes.
You know, basically what I get out of this episode is that the main focus was Iris becoming a part of Team Flash.
Yes.
Like they have a hole in Team Flash, a Harrison-sized hole. Yeah. And they're going to fill it with Iris instead. Agree?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, there was a lot of arguing between her and Barry, and let's talk about that real quick. She walks in, undetected. Like, obviously, at this point, I'm convinced that Caitlin and Cisco are the sole two employees of Star Labs. There's no one else there.
Yeah, I wondered how she had like the clearance to even get down there.
There's no security.
Nope.
It is just Caitlin and Cisco. There's no security, no janitor, no nothing. Like, it is just them two. So anyone can walk in.
She posted on her Twitter that you can get down there with just passing the guard of Benjamin.
Oh, that what the actress posted?
Yep.
There is no
Just like-
guard.
Yep.
I am the one working there except for Cisco and Caitlin. And I question how they get their paycheck.
That's the next question.
Yes. So and Barry could have easily been like, "Hey, I'm cosplaying here. Come on now."
Yep.
Think she would have bought that?
Probably not.
Why not? I thought it was a good.
Her whole
cover-up.
reasoning was, she goes, when you touched me, I felt a jolt. And last time I felt that jolt was when you were in a coma. I was like, that's the biggest jump I've ever heard.
Yeah. Not only did I talk about how bad that was last episode, but they pressed into it even further. Like, yeah, we're gonna run with this and go all the way with it.
Yep.
Unacceptable.
And then she pulled a Thea. Everyone's keeping secrets from me. Why does everyone hate me?
Well, because everyone is keeping secrets from her.
Exactly. Because they knew that she was going to react like this if they told her.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like her bitterness is warranted, but on the other hand, she goes on like a bit too hard on certain subjects of the matter.
Yeah.
Like, her bringing up the police academy.
Yep.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with Eddie. I guess Barry is also equally guilty because he brought up, well, you're not very truthful to me either because you didn't tell me your true feelings. It's like, dude, stop switching subjects.
Yeah. I love also how her argument with Barry was, well, you're keeping secrets from me. But then her anger towards her dad was, oh, you didn't tell me Barry has feelings for me.
Yeah.
She had different reasons why she's mad at everyone for different secrets.
Mm-hmm. If I was Barry, I would have thrown Joe under the bus.
Yeah.
I would have been like, you know what? It was not my idea. It was all Joe's. So
The other thing too, I kept thinking, it's this would be perfect time for Joe to say, by the way, Wells threatened your life if I told anyone. That's all he could have said.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't be lying. Because technically he did threaten her life.
Yeah, but he also threatened her life if he continued the investigation, which he stopped for one episode.
Yep.
And then went back, continued with the investigation.
Yep.
What else we got
secret
here?
investigation.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Okay. I find it funny that Iris always walked in to complete somebody's sentence.
Yep. She must have amazing timing. She's a meta.
Yeah, that's her superpower. Like, not only does she have amazing timing, but she can hear them down the hallway as she's entering the room, and she's like, "Yep, I'm here. Deal with it."
The most annoying power ever.
I mean, I felt like this whole Iris thing it took up too much of this episode.
It did.
It
felt like that was the main point. This should have been called Iris Finds Out or something.
Yeah.
Rob lives.
Mm-hmm. On one hand, I'm kind of glad that I'm assuming that they've gotten over it. This whole Iris angry thing is pretty much over because of the way how the episode ended,
Yes.
with Caitlin saying the four of us.
No.
And so it's like, okay, I'm assuming that, by
What can
next
she bring
episode,
to the table besides being
inspiration.
motivation to Barry? What can she bring to the table?
She's obviously the person who knows how to use Google, because that's what she was doing
Wow.
this episode.
Wow, like I can't believe that two people with doctorates don't know how to use Google.
Wasn't that what she was basically doing when she was on the computer?
Yep.
Like, she was basically like, hey, I
I
know
mean,
a little secret thing on
I
the
can
internet. It's called Google.
I know. I mean, I can so much see how she might be useful for like her job, and she can research old articles and like have access to newspapers. But besides that, like Google.
But didn't you see how, like, Caitlin and Cisco didn't know how to make the helmet thing until Iris motivated them?
Motivation. She's a
Yep.
motivational speaker.
Yeah, that's it. All they need is Iris's willpower to power their Green Lantern rings. Right?
Yep.
Oh man. So yeah, I'm like I said, I was annoyed that they took up so much of this episode, but I'm kind of relieved that I feel like now that they've done it and it's over with, or at least it should be over with. Like, they're gonna move on from that.
Should be.
Should be. Hopefully we're over with that. Um. So I guess anything else about Iris before we move on?
No.
All right. So we got Grodd,
Yes.
and at the end of the day, it was basically a distraction, and not just to Barry, but for us, the viewers. Am I right?
Yep.
He was basically like they were like, oh, loose to distract us. It's like, yeah, you're doing the same thing for us, the viewers. You're distracting us with Grodd while, like, the show isn't really progressing much. No. I mean, you've mentioned it. I've mentioned it. The season has really slowed down.
Yep.
And, like, I feel like it was after the Weather Wizard episode, the season really started hitting the brakes.
Yep.
And from that point on, it's basically just distract up until just to get us to the finale. So hopefully the finale will be worth it at the end.
See, like, I think it's like the complete opposite of Arrow, where Flash went really fast, and then they got to a point where, like, wow, we are at episode, I think it was like 15, and we're almost near the end of where we want for the end of the season. We still have another 8 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Arrow is like, holy crap, we're down to the final like 5 episodes, and we're not nowhere near where we need to be by episode 23. We got to like throw as much stuff as possible.
Yeah.
That's where I feel.
I think both the shows suffer from very long seasons as well.
Yes.
Like, I think they should, or like
They should be
maybe
kind of like Daredevil or Game of Thrones, where they're like 10 to 13 episode seasons,
yeah.
where each episode advances the plot.
They shouldn't go like overboard with how making it short, like Agent Carter episodes. I think it was like eight episodes, and that felt like it ended right as it was kind of beginning.
Yep.
So 8 episodes too short, but like if it's somewhere between 10 to 15, I think that would be a lot better than making it a 23 episode season.
Yep. And I mean, you have to admit, so far there have been filler episodes.
Yeah. About Grodd. Back to Grodd.
Yes.
So basically, he was mind controlling General Eiling.
Yes.
Do you know if I didn't look it up on IMDb, but did actor for Lex Luthor, did he do the voice for Grodd?
I don't know.
Because like his when he was doing the mind control voice, it sounded very similar to the Grodd voice.
That's a very good question because I know that he's done the voice of Grodd before, like in cartoons.
Mm-hmm. Let's look that up. IMDb, The Flash. We're gonna look that up really quick. Where's Grodd? It is done by David Sobolov. So no, it is not him.
Oh wow.
But yeah, like about General Eiling, I find it funny that Joe was able to General Eiling in front of those cops, and instead of taking them to the police station, took them to Star Labs. Like, how does Joe get away?
No idea how he gets away with all of this.
Like, again, Joe and his secrets, like, is probably the weakest. And yeah, so I mean, talking about General Eiling getting detained, I thought the whole setup to get him was because first of all, like, why is that undercover cop playing the music on the ice cream truck? Like
Exactly.
the mom straight up pointed out, she was like, "Why you have the music on? Like, are these guys like that much of a rookies to that degree that they don't even know what they're doing?"
I mean, I understand why they would have it because they're trying to like keep up the cover that it's just a regular ice cream truck. But if you're gonna be an ice cream truck and willing to make it look like an ice cream truck, might as well have ice cream.
Second point, why was Joe one of the transporters?
Because you want to make sure that basically he wants to be there for if when it does happen, he can tell Barry automatically.
But he is a detective. He's not like a SWAT team dude.
But a detective can do that though.
Can they?
Yeah, they can go. The whole point is they're doing. Say that it's part of a case. Let's put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's there as protection because he knows the perk is gonna, the villain or perp is gonna show up at this location. So that's the way he can get it.
I
Basically,
figured
down
that
to he's collecting evidence.
okay, the way how I figured was they should have trained professionals to do this and not Safety Joe.
We don't know his training. He could be a former police officer or SWAT.
Well, I mean, he does shoot to kill. So
True. Very
shoot
true.
first, ask questions.
Very true. He just shoots and doesn't ask questions.
Yeah. So, they eventually go after Grodd. Was it just me, or was Joe being really racist?
Yes, he was.
Like handing the banana,
He's a monkey, and I understand
the
somewhat.
gorilla.
He's
He is a gorilla. There's a difference. See, okay.
Cisco says that when he was a gorilla, when he first was in the cage, he ate bananas. So he's just going off of history, and also I think it's mostly Cisco is racist because Cisco gave Joe the banana.
Well, Joe wanted it. He was like, "Give me that." See, look. How about I switch the scenario around?
Okay.
What if, a criminal is getting, confronted by Joe, and Joe's very dangerous. He has a gun. And then the criminal brings out a bucket of KFC and some watermelon and says, "Hey, you want this, right?" You see how racist? Joe's doing the exact same thing. He's like, "You're a gorilla. Use a banana."
Name something a gorilla would eat besides bananas.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know what gorillas eat. Do they eat hippos? I don't know. They got sharp teeth. They must eat animals, I guess.
See, you're making assumptions. You just want the same beds because we're just ingrained in our heads that monkeys eat bananas.
Well, I don't know what gorillas eat, for one. And two, if there was a giant, like, telepathic genius gorilla, I think I'd probably want to think of a better plan.
Well, you bring him like a quiche?
Why does it gotta be food?
You're trying to bribe him.
Also, like,
how come
Barry had a trank gun and Joe had a shotgun?
Because Joe likes to shoot to kill.
He should have had like tons of like elephant tranquilizers.
Also, if it hits the fan, they have a real gun. That's why.
What are you talking about? Joe was ready to shoot with the shotgun before anyone wanted to say anything. Joe is trigger happy. Hashtag trigger happy Joe.
Oh my god.
All right, so another thing. They let Joe behind. Like, I don't get why Barry leaves everyone behind. He allowed Eddie to, get taken away.
Yep.
By stopping and talking to Iris. And he also allowed Joe to, like, be in more danger by not going after him. Barry is not the hero you think he is.
Nope.
He is a coward. Anything else we want to say about Grodd?
I love how like a sonic punch didn't work on him, but getting hit by a train did.
I find it humorous that like he just kind of poof disappeared when the train came.
Yes.
Like, dude has to be like what, like 2,000 pounds?
Yep.
And he just kind of poof disappeared.
Yep.
Oh, and General Eiling, I guess the mind control went away eventually because of maybe being too far from Grodd. Wasn't really explained well enough.
So Eiling is a radio.
I guess. I don't know. They didn't really explain it. That's my thing. But like, even Eiling's like, "So how long are you gonna keep me locked up here, huh? You and your illegal cells." And then he just walks away. Like, what's he gonna do? Call a cab after he walks out of there?
I don't know. And he goes, "Any of you who said we share a common enemy, so we'll work together for now." I was like, that's the biggest cliche ever.
And how does he know that they know about Dr. Wells? Or how does he, like, well, yeah, he does know about Dr. Wells because he saw him in the reverse flash suit, but how does he know that they know?
He doesn't.
It's the mind control. It's leaking. I guess the final thing to talk about on this episode was
Wells.
Wells and Eddie Thawne.
Yep.
Yeah. So apparently he's keeping Eddie tied up and not feeding him anything because he can't use the bathroom.
Yep.
And he goes ahead and tells him everything about the future, including Grandma Agnes.
Yep.
And you see how upset Eddie looked when he heard about that? He was like, I'm going to marry someone named Agnes.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he's more upset about the fact that he's not going to marry Iris, but still, I'd be upset if I heard that, I'm going to marry someone named Agnes.
Stop you're gonna marry someone named Agnes.
Oh, you ruined my life.
Yep. Her favorite things to do are knitting and watching Murder, She Wrote.
The reruns.
The reruns.
Girls. All right.
Yep.
And he has the key.
Yep.
We don't know.
To restart the reactor.
Oh, to restart the reactor. And is that where they were?
Yes, so the whole time they were right below them.
Man.
The whole time.
Man, where's Barry and his like CSI detective skills?
Or Cisco's 3D model of the whole place.
And so they did not know that like the reactor, the power just turned on.
But I guess that's in the next episode because then it was in the preview.
Well, the preview I saw didn't really show that, but we'll talk about the preview in the spoiler section. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about before we move on?
No.
All right, so we're pretty much done discussing this episode.
Yes.
All right, looks like it's your turn to review and rate this episode first.
Okay. I kind of got into my thoughts of this a little in the discussion, but I didn't really like this episode. It felt like a filler. It really did. Like, it didn't advance the plot. And with 3 episodes left before the season finale, I thought they would actually, I don't know, spend a little more time on Wells besides just 3 minutes sprinkled without the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt like the old, like season 3 or like episode 3 or 4 villain of the week episode to me. It didn't really feel like it advanced any plot.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know.
So what would your rating be?
I give it a 2.
2. Ooh.
Yeah, that's how much.
I thought about this for a little bit. And like, even though I agree that it feels like a filler, I didn't think it was a bad episode. And there have been some episodes that left me kind of upset, mainly because a lot better. Not like I felt like those episodes were bad. I just were disappointed because I expected something more. But I'm going to give this 3 out of 5 bananas.
I didn't even give mine like a thing.
Because you're not cool like that.
I was going to say racist bananas, but you took my bananas.
Hey, I said it first.
I know.
So, yeah, I agree. Like, I totally agree that this is a filler episode. I think Grodd looked really cool.
He did.
And the budget on him must have been insane because they couldn't even afford to animate lips.
Yep.
Like they
just have to do them telepathically.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Game of Thrones wolves where like they put their budget on everything else, so that's why you can't really see the wolves that much.
Yep. So I mean, he still looked really cool, and
he did.
I mean, like last week, I lamented that a Grodd episode would possibly mean that they, capture him and lock him up, and that would be the end of Grodd. But the way how this episode went. Hopefully it means bigger things to come with him, like in season 2, main villain.
Where was he jumping to?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He climbed all the way up just to jump.
Jump off towards the screen, like I don't know. And when did someone see a gigantic monkey climbing a building then jumping off? Gorilla, monkey, whatever.
They're different.
No, they aren't.
They're totally different. You're being racist. Are you gonna give him a banana?
I'm not being racist.
Are you gonna give Joe West a bucket of KFC?
Okay then. What's the type of monkey? A gorilla.
No. A monkey.
Yeah.
Monkeys are monkeys.
No.
Chimpanzees.
Gorillas are a monkey.
No.
Yes, they are.
I think you're making stuff up. Do we have any animalologists listening out there? If you're an expert of the subject, write in to capes@outofcontinues.com.
It is a primate, aka an ape, aka a monkey.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, a primate does not mean monkey. A monkey is a type of a primate.
Oh my god. Look what we're talking about.
Let's wrap this show up.
Okay.
So that we can get to the spoiler section.
Sure.
So, if you enjoy what we've been hearing, you can support us by liking us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. Leave an iTunes review. You can contact us by email. That's capes@outofcontinues.com. You can subscribe to YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/outofcontinues. Like us on Reddit. And you can give me a tweet. Oh, sorry. All those things, except for the Reddit, all those things can be found on www.outofcontinues.com/TV podcast. You can give me a tweet. I'm at Sayed Stafa. That's at SAD. Nope. That's at SAYEDSTAFA.
And I'm at emesker712, EMETZGER712.
And with that said, I am Stafa.
And I'm Eric.
And thanks for joining us. We'll either see you in the spoiler section. You join us next week.
Yep. And gorillas are monkeys.
Spoiler alert.
Gorillas are monkeys.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Stafa's right. A gorilla is an ape a little higher on the evolutionary tree. In general, monkeys have tails and apes don't and are smarter.
See?
Whatever.
So the next episode, what is it called?
So they're just highly evolved monkeys.
That's not what the next episode's called.
Whatever. It's called Rogue Air.
Rogue Air?
I think so, yeah.
So the preview showed Oliver, Queen,
Yes.
and Ronnie, or I guess Firestorm Matrix.
Yes.
And it also showed Dr. Wells. And I noticed that he had the suit come out of the ring.
Yep.
So, do you think this is going to be a thing they'll introduce in season 2 where Flash is going to be doing the same thing?
Probably yes.
Like he's going to steal the ring during the season finale. He's going to defeat Harrison Wells. He's going to take the ring. The one ring.
And Cisco is going to reverse engineer it, yes.
Yep. There we go.
Also, they have admitted that there's something happening in the final 2 episodes that have to do with Killer Frost. Yes, we will see. Yes. And another preview, the Canadian preview, that shows them talking to Captain Cold, saying, "You come to me for help." So I'm guessing it's the scene where we see in the big preview where I guess Wells lets out some of the metas, and it's Flash and Captain Cold and Heatwave versus those said metas.
Hmm.
Because
Interesting.
in the New 52, Captain Cold is the Justice League.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes. He and Lex Luthor become new Justice League.
Yeah, I knew about Lex Luthor.
Yeah, but in Justice, he was part of Justice League. Captain Cold is.
Nice. So I like I think the actor does a really good job. I'm not saying I'm like a huge fan of the actor. I've never watched Prison Break.
Yep.
But I think he does a really good job with Captain Cold. I really like the character, so I'll look forward to that.
The thing with it, I mean, I like him as a character, and I love him as an actor. I like Heatwave as an actor. Problem is that they're both from Prison Break, and now everyone wants like every person from Prison Break to be Rogue in the show.
Got what the Clock King.
Clock King, Vertigo was from Prison Break.
Yeah, I saw the picture, that the meme picture where it shows all four of them together in prison.
Yep.
We break out of here. Let's all be super villains.
Yep. Also, I guess in the final episode of Arrow, Barry will be part of it.
Of course, because every episode is a crossover episode. All right. So we got anything else?
Nope.
All right. I don't have anything. So I guess let's wrap it up.
Okay then.
Thanks for joining us.
See yas.